from New Jersey?
He was my first client. It's kind of a sentimental thing. Look, Doris, there's something I want you to know. I know I must seem rather smooth and glib, you know, sexually. But I want you to know that since I've been married, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this.
That's all right. I can tell. Can I have some for breakfast?
Go ahead. I'm not hungry. You know, it's funny. When I was single, I was no good at these quick, superficial affairs, you know? I always had to really like the person before I do. What do you mean you can tell? In what way could you tell?
What? Oh, little things like, you know, the way you try to take your pants off over your shoes and trip and hit your head on the coffee tables, you know, stuff like that.
It's great. And being able to be totally honest with another person like this, isn't it?
It sure is.
Doris, I have been totally honest with you.
You haven't?
No. I told you I was a married man with 2 children.
You're not?
No. I'm a married man with 3 children. I thought it would make me seem less married. No. I wasn't thinking straight. Anyways, it's been like a lead weight on me all morning. I mean, denying little Debbie like that. I don't normally do things like this. I'm under a certain pressure, you understand?
Sure, we all do dopey things sometimes. How come your wife doesn't travel with you?
Phyllis won't get on a plane.
Is she afraid of flying?
Crashing.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I love watching you eat.
You want to share some coffee with me?
Doris, do you believe it's possible for 2 complete strangers to look at each other across a crowded room? Suddenly want to possess each other in every conceivable way possible?
No.
Well, then how did all of this start?
It started when you sent over that steak in the restaurant.
They don't serve drinks. They're known for their steaks.
And then, when I looked over at you and you toasted me with your fork with this big piece of steak on it, it really made me laugh. I've never seen anyone do that before. What made you do it?
Impulse. I normally never do anything like this. I have a friend who says that life is saying yes. The best I've ever been able to manage is maybe.
Then why did you do it?
I was lonely. And you looked so vulnerable. You had a run in your stocking, your lipstick was smeared.
You thought I looked cheap?
I thought you looked beautiful.
I really ought to be going. The nuns will be wondering what happened to me.
Nuns?
Yeah, it didn't seem like the right time to mention it when we met yesterday in the restaurant, but I was on my way to retreat.
Retreat?
Yes, it's near here. I go every year at this time when Harry takes the kids to Bakersfield.
What's in Bakersfield?
His mother. She hates me. It's her birthday.
She doesn't mind you don't go?
No, she can't stand me.
Why?
I got pregnant.
I think her son had something to do with that.
Well, she puts that out of her mind. You see, Harry was in his first year of dental college, and he had to quit and take up a job selling waterless cooking. So now, every year on her birthday, I go on retreat.
Think about God?
Yes, him too, sure. Look, I have 3 little kids. I was 18 when I got pregnant the first time, and I guess I never really got a chance to think about what I think. Never mind. Sometimes I just think I'm crazy.
Why?
Well, take my life. I live in a 2-bedroom downtown duplex in Oakland, and I have a 1948 Kaiser, a 3-piece blonde dinette set, Motorola TV. We go bowling at least once a week. What else could anyone ask for? But sometimes things just get me down. It's dumb.
I don't think it's dumb.
You don't? Boy, I can really talk to you. You know, I find myself saying things to you that I never even knew I thought. I noticed that yesterday when we met in the restaurant.
We had an instant rapport. Did you notice that too?
No, but I know we really hit it off. You know, Harry's not much of a talker. How about you and your wife? Do you two talk a lot?
Look, Doris, Naturally, we're both curious about each other's husband and wife, but rather than dwelling on it, letting it ruin everything, why don't we do this? I'll tell you 2 stories. One illustrating the best side of my wife, and one illustrating the worst. And then you do the same for your husband, and we'll forget about that, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll go first. I'll start with the bad story. Phyllis knows about us.
Wait, you said that before. How did she know it?
She has this thing in her head.
Oh, you mean like a plate?
What?
A plate. My uncle has one of those. He was wounded in the war, and they put the steel plate in his head, and now he says he can always tell when it's going to rain.
Oh, I'm in such deep trouble.
Why?
I find everything you say absolutely fascinating.
So tell me about your wife's steel plate.
It's not a plate. It's more like a bell. It doesn't matter. I could be a million miles away, but if I so much as look at another girl, she knows. I just know that last night at 1:22, she sat bolt upright in bed with her head going ding, 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 ding.
How did you know it was 122?
Because my watch said 4:47. Okay, so I'll tell you the good story next. So, well, she really helped me to believe in myself. And you may not know and see me now, but there was a time where I used to be a really sort of insecure sort of person. She helped change all that.
How'd she do that?
She
How
married
to
me.
believe in yourself?
She married me.
Well, that was really nice of her, bolstering you up and all.
Okay, so now you tell me the bad story about your husband.
Okay. It's hard.
Pick one.
No, to think of one. Harry's the soul of the earth. Everyone says so.
Come on, you owe me at least one rotten story.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not really rotten, but it was our 4th anniversary. And we were having kind of a rough time. I was pregnant again, and we got hit over our heads financially, but we still decided to have some people over to help celebrate. Harry's not much of a drinker, but we did have 3 beers that night. It was after the Gillette fights. Anyway, I overheard him and some of the guys talking, and Harry said that his time in the army were the best years of his life.
Well, lots of guys feel that way about the service.
Harry was in the army for 4 years. 3 of those were spent in a Japanese prison camp. And he said this summer anniversary. I know Harry didn't even hurt me. He'd never hurt anyone. But it really hurt, you know? You must have been tired that I told you that story.
I wouldn't tell him.
Because I've never told anyone that before. Do you want to hear the good story about Harry?
Not really.
Oh, but you have to. I want you to make a wrong impression of him.
Okay, if you insist.
Well, Harry's this really big, heavy-set guy.
Well, I wish you hadn't told me that.
Oh, no, he's as gentle as a puppy, really. Well, you see, he always tries to find different things to do with each of the kids, you know? And he was having trouble finding something special to do with Tony, our 4-year-old. Well, he got this idea to take him out and learn to fly a kite. So, one Saturday last winter, they went out, but there was no wind, so they were having a hard time getting the kite to take off. And after a while, Tony got kind of bored. He was only 4, and he asked Harry if he could go wait in the car. And Harry said yes. Well, about an hour later, I come by on my way home from the laundromat, and there's Tony, sound asleep in the front seat of the car, and Harry, all alone, red in the face, out of breath, bobbing up and down with this huge kite tracking along behind him. And, well, it got to me, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Helen has lots of good qualities too.
Who's Helen?
My wife.
I thought she said her name was Phyllis.
Phyllis, Helen. I'm married. I don't know. I thought I was covering my tracks. I was afraid you might try and look me up.
Is your name really George?
My name? You think I'd lie about my name?